Hey fam, what's good? What's going on? It's your man, Coach Bill William, coming at you, man, with a million names. Hey, we are doing. I needed some help. I asked my friend Jordan. I said, "Hey, man, I've read Ezekiel at least twice, man, or tried twice, man, and came up with a fail. And I just remember I was more confused and just didn't get no fruit from those two efforts. I want to try again. And this time, I'm gonna add a lot of prayer into my attempt. Ask God to reveal Himself to me, reveal what He wants me to get out of it. I'm not going to try to attack it cognitively with my mind and my thoughts. But then again, I got a friend with me that's going to be walking. Jordan's going to be walking with me. Deanna jumped on board. She's going to be hanging out with us. So we're going to give this. I invited my wife twice. She didn't want to get out. I'm like, girl, you know that you're not going to take the time to read Ezekiel otherwise. So you might as well get on with us right now. She's like, yeah, So at any rate, what that got to do with the price of tea in China is that, well, I don't live in China, so I'm not worried about Chinese tea. But no. So, I'm like, hey, man, if I can get a friend that's going to walk with me through one of the harder books, a book that I know that without being under authority of Christ, I ain't going to take the time to read it. If she can be in that same position, she should want to jump along too. All right? How about you? So Ezekiel, 48 chapters. We're going to be in this all the way to October, fam. I'm trying to be positive, for real. So I've already read a little bit. I've studied this in the past. So the prophets were so challenging to me that I actually got some study materials. So I read some introductory material about Ezekiel, and so far I understand that it happened between what they call the two exiles, right? When Babylon conquered Judah, and sent out groups of people. This minister, this preacher, this rabbi Ezekiel was snatched up as well. And it shouldn't be called exile, it should be called kidnappings, right? The exile is when the home state kick you out. He didn't get kicked out by the home state. He got snatched up by the invaders. So, I'm too technical, I know. So, yeah, that's what we got going on with Ezekiel. He was there. God gave him the word. Take this word to your people. Tell them to repent. Turn around. If they don't, going to be punishment. And it sounds like it's some of the same things that we read back in Deuteronomy. So I don't know. Without further ado, I done talked 3 minutes. Sorry. Let's jump right in here. I'm going to be reading from the New King James Version, which is going to be a tougher read. But hopefully I can get the purity of the word. Let's talk about the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1, Ezekiel's vision of God. Chapter 1, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the 13th year, in the 4th month, on the 5th day of the month, as I was among the captives by the river Shebar. See, I was among the captives. So that's right. I told you, captive. He wasn't exiled, kicked out. He was snatched up. What are you talking about? Kidnapping. But their calendar they could use back then is not the calendar we use. So his months and weeks and days ain't even corresponding to our calendar. That the heavens were open and I saw visions of God on the 5th day of the month, which was in the 5th year of King Joachim's captivity. King Joachim of Judah, had been held captive for 5 years now. The word of the Lord came expressly to Ezekiel, the priest. He was a priest already. God made him also a prophet. Being a prophet back then especially was a tough job. She always had bad news to share. Y'all doing filthy, you're sinning, clear your act up. You don't clean up, there'll be some punishment. You clean up, God will go ahead and return to his promise for you. Nobody want to hear that. People doing wrong, doing wicked, doing evil. They I want to hear the truth. You know that. He was the son of Buzi in the land of the Chaldeans by the river Shebar, and the hand of the Lord was upon him there. It's interesting, the Chaldeans. I remember in the old Star Trek, I'm talking about the old Star Trek with the old Leonard Nimoy and Captain Kirk was Shatner. One of the episodes, or two of the episodes, they visited strange people. They said, "We are the Chaldeans," and I didn't know back then that they were referencing the Bible. Then I looked, and behold, a whirlwind was coming out of the north, a great cloud with raging fire engulfing itself. Listen to this description. A whirlwind spinning, right? With great fire, with a great cloud with raging fire engulfing itself, and brightness was all around it and radiated out in its midst like the color of amber out of the midst of the fire. What was he seeing? Verse 5, also from within it came the likeness of 4 living creatures. And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. The likeness of a man. It's maybe like shape of a man. Each one had 4 faces. Each one had 4 wings. That ain't no likeness of a man. So, were the faces like a man's faces? All right. Their legs were straight, and the soles of their feet were like the soles of calves' feet. Jokers had hooves. They sparkled like the color of burnished bronze. They sparkled like the color of burnished bronze. The hands of a man were under their wings, on their 4 sides, and each of the 4 had faces and wings. The hands of a man were under their wings, on their 4 sides, and each of their 4 had faces and wings. Their wings touched one another. The creatures did not turn when they went, but each one went straight forward. So it's like he was like, so if he wanted to go to the right, he wouldn't turn and then go. That just was like. As for the likeness of their faces, each had the face of a man. Okay. Each of the 4 had the face of a lion on the right side. Each of the 4 had the face of an ox on the left side. And each of the 4 had the face of an eagle. That was on the back of his head or something. Thus were their faces. Their wings stretched upward, 2 wings of each. One touched one another, and 2 covered their bodies. Verse 12, and each one went straight forward. They went wherever the Spirit wanted to go, and they did not turn when they went. So they didn't have to go here to go that way or go turn to go. No, they just cut. They be looking right at you. Cut, up, cut. As for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, like the appearance of torches going back and forth among the living creatures. Torches going back and forth among the living creatures. The fire was bright, and out of the fire went lightning, and the living creatures ran back and forth in appearance like a flash of lightning. Now as I looked at the living creatures, behold, a wheel was on the earth, besides each living creature with its 4 faces. Let's do that again. Now as I looked at the living creatures, behold, a wheel was on the earth, besides each living creature with its 4 faces. So a wheel was on the earth, besides the creature. The appearance of the wheels and their workings was like the color of beryl, and all four had the same likeness. The appearance of their workings was, as it were, a wheel in the middle of a wheel. A wheel in the middle of a wheel. They was riding on a UFO. When they moved, they went toward any one of the four directions. They did not turn aside when they went. He says that 3 times already. They didn't have to face the direction they wanted to go. They just went. As for their rims, they were so high, they were awesome. And their rims were full of eyes all around the 4 of them. I don't know what a rim is, but they were full of eyes. When the living creatures went, the wheels went beside them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. Like a surfboard type deal, or riding on a UFO type deal. Like the wheels were the mechanism for them flying. Verse 20, wherever the Spirit wanted to go, wherever the Spirit wanted to go, they went. Because there the Spirit went, and the wheels were lifted together with them. For the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels. The spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels. When those went, these went. When those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels lifted up together with them. For the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels. He says again. The likeness of the firmament above the heads of the creatures was like the color of an awesome crystal stretched out over their heads. So it was like they had a super halo. A helmet? Had a helmet on? And under the firmament, their wings spread out straight, one towards another. Each one had 2, which covered one side, and each one had 2, which covered the other side of the body. When they went, I heard the noise of their wings, like the noise of many waters, like the voice of the Almighty, a tumult, like the noise of an army. And when they stood, they let down their wings. A voice came from above the firmament that was over their heads. Whenever they stood, they let down their wings. And above the firmament over their heads was the likeness of a throne, an appearance like sapphire stone. On the likeness of the throne was a likeness with the appearance of a man high above it. Also from the appearance of his waist and upward, as it were, the color of amber, with the appearance of fire all around within it. And from the appearance of his waist and downward, I saw, as it were, the appearance of fire with brightness all around. Like the appearance of a rainbow in a cloud on a rainy day, so was the appearance of the brightness all around it. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. In chapter 1. How you like that? That comes in with a bang, don't it? Bless you. Bendiga. Baruch. Shalom. Peace. Let's take this 48 chapter ride together. See how it goes. Pray. Ask God to reveal to you what he wants you to get out of that. I'm reading slow, moving slow. I don't want to miss nothing this time. Bless you.